One of the camo challenges inside Black Ops Cold War requires you to get headshots with a variety of different guns, and if you're going for gold, diamond or dark matter, you'll want to be getting headshots as easily as possible. So in today's video, I'll be going through some tips on how you can get easy headshots in Black Ops Cold War. Just before we do get into the video, however, if you are new around here, then make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Now that Double XP has ended, I'm going to be setting aside more time to making videos, including tips and tricks videos, easy gold gun guides, discussions, and a lot more, all surrounding Black Ops Cold War. One thing I would like to say before we do get into the tips, however, is that in my experience so far while going for various different gold guns in the game, headshots have always been something that kind of just completed themselves. I never really have felt like I was going for headshots, I just sort of completed them by the time everything else was done, which does lead me into my first tip. So the first thing I would definitely say is leave these camo challenges until last. You don't really want to be going for headshot challenges as soon as you unlock them, because generally they are the second camo category that you unlock, which is usually around level 10 if it's a primary or 5 if it's a secondary. And if you start going for headshots that early on, then you'll be losing out on kills, since there's always the possibility that you miss the head and just die. You might be getting headshots quicker than you would if you were just normally playing the game, but you're leveling up your gun slow, which means you're not going to be working towards any of the camo challenges, which does slow you down. So if you just ignore these challenges until you've completed everything else, you might even find they're actually already done. Due to the fact that these are generally the second camo category that you unlock, you're making progress towards them early on while doing other camo challenges as well. If that's not the case and headshots are the final thing you need to do, that's when the rest of these tips will start to come into play. The second tip that I have for you all is play hardcore. Now, if you've been playing COD and going for camo completion for a while now, then you already know this one, you're probably already doing it anyway, so I'll make it quick. Hardcore is the best place to get headshots done easily because it is almost always a one shot to the head. There is the added strain that you also might die in only one shot, which can get annoying at times, but it is much better than trying to hit a moving target's head 2 or 3 times while they're also shooting back at you. This is down to personal preference. You can go into core if you like, you don't have to play hardcore, but I think that it is the general consensus in the community that hardcore has and always will be the best place to get headshots done quickly. Another tip that I have today is actually to do with your sensitivity. I generally always have my vertical sensitivity lower than my horizontal, and that's because we're not in jetpack warfare anymore, so there's usually really no reason to jolt your aim upwards. So having that lower sensitivity means you can actually acquire your target a lot easier. The head is a really small hitbox, so you need to be able to finely tune your aim so you can actually hit it instead of accidentally going too far and hitting their feet or the sky. Now, my vertical sensitivity is actually on 5, while my horizontal sensitivity is on 8, and the only ADS sensitivity that I've changed is the low zoom, which is on 0.8. I've just left the high zoom on 1, and obviously this is going to be it's going to be different for everyone, so if you feel your sensitivity is too high or too low, then you need to mess around with it so you can get it just right. To do this, I recommend running an aim practice drill. Essentially, you want to head into custom games, set the gamer to free-for-all, make the match time and score limit unlimited, add as many bots as you feel you need. This would generally depend on the map, so I recommend playing New 1084 and adding like 6 of the bots, and ramping up the health to 200. This increased health means you need to spend more time tracking your enemy while shooting them to see if the current sensitivity you are on is comfortable for you or not. Try and practice getting headshots on the bots and spend as much time in this match as you need to. Once you feel you have a sensitivity that works for you, back out of the match and test it in multiplayer. Now, this next tip is going to sound like a motivational speech, but just ignore your KD. This game decides how well you do in the match more than you can due to skill-based matchmaking, so you should really ignore it anyway. But if you're someone who cares about your KD and are going for dark matter, you can kiss that positive KD goodbye. I personally feel that having dark matter is a bigger achievement than having a positive or good kill death ratio, and a lot of other people feel the exact same way, since you're forced to use things like the thumper, the launcher class, the sniper class, and so on. When you finish a game, instead of looking at if you went positive or not, look at how much progress you made. Did you make a lot of progress that game? If you got 10 to 15 headshots or went negative, then that's been a good match. If you had a 2 KD but only got 2 headshots, it was a pointless game really. Sure, it does suck to watch your KD tank, but it'll all be worth it in the end when you finally get dark matter. If you haven't acquired a completionist camo like this in a COD game before, the feeling of finally getting the notification pop up telling you you're finally done is the best feeling you can get. If you have done it before, then you know how good that feels. Just to wrap up the video here, we have some generic tips that we're just going to rush through. When adding attachments to a gun you want headshots for, you want to prioritize sprint to fire speed, recoil, and hip fire accuracy. You'll also want to use stun or flash grenades so your enemy can't react to you if you need to line up the headshot. Field mics and spy planes are also great for intel on where the enemy is, so you know where they're coming from. If you didn't know already, aim for the head, but at last but not least, use a clear sight. This actually goes a long way when your target is as small as the head. So that's about everything that I have to say for today's video. I pretty much covered everything that I think will help you get easier headshots while going for dark matter in Black Ops Cold War. But with that being said, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more like this. Thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you all in the next one.